Wrong month. Yeah, so see we have this low correlation here. It's pretty interesting that we went lower. Um, well, not really from the 1 day standpoint. It really does look pretty solid. We've got this low correlation, like lowest low correlation here at the end of the day. But based on the fact that we went lower and we broke through this support, um, my sense is that these are probably lower lows. This is probably a lower low here on the 12th, based on the fact that we've already gone lower than the 14th. 14th, 15th, anyways. And this is why I was sensing it's kind of a difficult trade to determine whether or not to go long or short, because we have this move to the downside in the pre-market followed by this move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, and that's exactly what happened. We went from this support here to the top of this like little range right here. And we had this one peak here around, well, it's really three. We were bumping up against resistance, but there was a peak here between 950 and 11, so right on the ball there. And then another peak towards the end of the day. Looks like we were a little bit early on that one. There was a trough and then another peak. But that was that then is followed by this low at the end of the day. Hey, Trading Altitudes. Hey, AV. Are the next 2 days overall bearish or bullish? It's mixed, but I think probably to the downside. Um, it's probably bearish into like the 20, maybe even into the 23rd. This might be another low, not maybe not a lowest low, but there's another low here. It could be the same low that we have here on the 21st, but on the 23rd we have Mercury Station at 254. Okay, so tomorrow on the 17th, it's looking bearish. Hard to determine where we open with the power card, but we'll decline in the pre-market. Trade opportunity in there to close a long position early in the day here, maybe around 10 o'clock, maybe later. But there's a high first, like a rally out of the open, increasing with momentum, takes us to a high and a trade opportunity before like this volatility. You want to go down, buddy? Poor guy. Oh, okay, you want to sit on my lap? I don't know how you're going to do that with 3 legs, my man. Okay. You'll figure it out. So funny. You eat too much, you know. So I think tomorrow's overall bearish. There's a move to the upside in the morning. Hey, that's my remote you're putting your chin on. And the 18th is looking pretty mixed, really. From the 1 month standpoint, yeah, it's even mixed from the 1 month standpoint, but it looks like there's a reversal or a peak towards the later part of the day. And there's a pretty notable opportunity in there on the 18th to open up a short position or protect against long positions as we move into another low or drop over. It's either a drop over the weekend or we have this peak that we sell off from notably into another low there on the 21st. Right, so end of a decline with a fast sudden move higher, and then we have a failed attempt at the close to a failed attempt to break through resistance, probably this resistance here. Like roughly around here. And then a decline through key support, and it could be this support here. Because there's more decline in the post-market. That yellow, translucent yellow highlight, brief peak that's easily missed. So this is probably a brief peak here that's easily missed. Don't eat my tissue. Such a toddler. You want to go back up here, buddy? Do you need like a pillow? You're such a good boy. You're happy even with the sprained ankle. You're still happy. Such a good boy, Hermes. How low can we get? Or yesterday you said to buy longs today at open for the 18th. Yeah. I think it's probably higher on the 18th at some point than where we are now. But it's really risky, guys. It's definitely a strong downtrend. Hey, don't eat my tissue, you little tissue muncher. It's definitely a strong downtrend here. So if you bought those long positions, I think you'd probably be okay tomorrow, at least in the morning. We should at least be able to get back to even on the long positions, and then you could open tomorrow a long position in the midst of this decline. It would need to be like first thing in the morning while declining and before we have a rally. If you see any sort of rally, like, and you haven't got in a long position, you probably missed that opportunity. And so you ride the long position not too long. Like, it's a rally that increases with momentum, but it's going to take us to like a period of volatility. So as soon as things start to get volatile, I would say that's when you want to exit. It could be anywhere between the open, like the first half hour, and 11:45, but I think it's probably closer to 10 o'clock. And at that point, I would close long positions, and I would open up a short position, which you would then be able to close either early in the afternoon for a day trade. Probably have another opportunity at the close, but you might get a little scared here with this abundance card. Huh. Matter of fact, there might be another day trade in there to open up a long position here in the midst of this sharp decline. So midday, failed attempt to break through resistance, decline through key support, sideways fluctuating decline into a sharp drop around 145-ish. Around that time, sharp drop after like a failed attempt to break through resistance and a decline through probably at least one support, but there's a sharp drop here, so more than one support, I'd say, to a low, and that's where I would open up a long position. You could close that long position when we make a new local high, and by local high, I don't mean like a highest high for the day. I mean, after forming new lows, it'll be the first new high that forms. I would exit the day trade there, the long day trade there. I have a feeling we might. Well, let's see how tomorrow. Let's see how tomorrow goes as far as like where we open and whatnot, and then I'll have a better idea if we're going to open higher, or excuse me, if we're going to be at a higher price level on the 18th. But I think that there's probably a good opportunity here in the morning tomorrow to exit a long position, and it's really risky to hold these long positions right now, guys. It's retrograde. We're in a strong downtrend. The reversal doesn't show up till roughly the 23rd. Maybe it'd give or take a day, but it's usually right on the ball with Mercury retrograde. So if like the main reversal doesn't show up until the 23rd, that would mean we're still in the downtrend, if that makes sense, guys. How low do you think we can get in September for price perspective? Do we go back to 3,900 levels? So sorry, guys. My gosh. It might not even. Let me see, guys. Let me just check out what's going on here on the daily. Yeah, because we're going to go into a lower price level here at the end of the day. We had a breakout to the high card for the high significator. Near the low, we have a pop and drop. It looks like that's kind of what happened here. We have this pop and then this drop. Sorry. We have this decline with the fast sudden move higher. That's more like it, yeah. So here's the failed attempt, and it doesn't even look like we got all the way to that resistance. I don't know, guys. It might make sense to take the loss and open up new positions tomorrow. It's kind of risky to hold the long because depending on where we open, it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. We could open low and then there's this big move higher. If the big move higher doesn't like take us to a good place because we open too low, or we could open kind of like sideways and have a big move higher. In which case, we'd be glad that we held the long position to close it here. It's risky, guys. You know what I might do is open up a short position before we take a nosedive here, and then plan on holding the short position through like the end of the day here, so that way if we open too low, like if we have a big drop, it won't be like, oh god, the long position's completely evaporated, I missed out. Like, it's gonna go lower overall into Monday. So like, if you can open up a short position that you can hold I'd say at least until Monday. So like an expiration probably the following week on the 31st or so, or the 1st, I should say. It's going to be a really significant low, guys. Even the death card is a sneak preview for September. 3,900. Why was that one brown? I didn't like decide to change the color. That's so ridiculous. Like what? I think there's probably a good possibility that we see. Let's see. Do we reach 411 on SPY in September? Yes or no? I got a yes for that. Do we reach 399 on SPY in September 2023? Yes or no? I got a yes for that. Do we reach 390 on SPY in September 2023? Yes or no? Ooh. I got the unicursal. I think that's probably where we fall to. Matter of fact, no, because we would go through the unicursal marks a price level that we dropped through. All right, so yikes. we see 379 on SPY in September? Do we see 379 SPY in October? I think we might even go down there to the 379, 380, but that'll be in October, not September. So it looks like the low's probably going to carry over into October. And it's interesting, we have this Queen of Discs, so that indicates a revisiting of a support level that was recently a past opportunity. This is on the scale of a 1 year, meaning that could be several months ago, i.e. Let's see, would that put us at a lowest low? Yeah, it would. So I think that's probably where we're going to end up going, is revisiting, because this low happened in September during this year twice. We probably revisit it in October. That's my sense. Decline through September into October. Hey Tabriz, so if you're still in need of the answer to the question, will we get a chance to take a short for a swing trade? That's what I would do, guys. Hopefully everybody listened to me just a little bit ago and opened up a short position. Well, you still have an opportunity here. There might still be a move to the upside. I would say if you haven't done it already, I would say if we hit this price level here, this like 441-ish, I would open up a short position there. And that way, if we drop really sharply overnight, which is possible, we're going to attempt to establish support somewhere overnight, and that's after a big drop here. Yeah, and then also the yellow translucent highlights are the indolence card, so brief peak here around the close, followed by a decline through multiple supports. Decline in the pre-market. It's possible that we go lower here, guys. There's a move to the upside, so like you could possibly end up with a profit depending on where we open tomorrow, but my sense is that we may have a pretty sharp drop here. In which case you don't want to miss out on it and have your long position evaporate. We're probably going lower. There's a strong possibility that we're going lower on the 21st because we've already gone lower than the lows here on the 14th, 15th, indicating that, like I said, they might be lower lows. So now it's a pretty strong indication that we go lower on the 21st, possibly even on the 23rd. So with that said, if you create a short position with the plan to have it hold it until like the 21st or the 23rd, i.e. have an expiration out the following week, and have it be at the money or in the money, you should do pretty well, even if we don't have a drop tomorrow and we go up first. Then I would just close out of the long position, maybe open up a little bit more of a short position, and you could have a short position that you close for a day trade here early afternoon. It gets kind of like tricky here on the 18th with the fortune card, and then the fortune card appears here on the 17th. So it's like hard to pinpoint exactly where the reversal is coming into play. But I know there is a peak here on the 18th that you want to open up a short position in anticipation of this move to the downside on the 21st. Excuse me. Hey, Carolyn. Do I see QQQ getting more bullish on Thursday and Friday? Oh, how will NVDA? I'll come back to that. How will NVDA respond to earnings? So NVDA's earnings results will be Hierophant card. That's an interesting one to read as. There may not be. Not all of them will have all of the information because some of them aren't relevant to certain things. Here, mixed. A beat and a miss. Okay, makes sense. A beat and a miss, and then the price change or the price action in response to the earnings results. What will that be? It's kind of like crisscrossing back and forth through the same price level, but eventually to the upside, it looks like. All right, so what will be the overall trend for QQQ tomorrow and on Friday? This next Friday. Oh wow. Okay, so out of a decline tomorrow, there's a fast sudden move higher marking the end of a decline. That's going to take us into probably a peak on Friday. I got the unicursal on Friday. So like there's going to be a failed attempt to break through resistance. It'll be a resistance that we expect to break through on a multi-day scale. Instead, we'll turn around and we'll decline probably through the support that's created tomorrow at the bottom of the decline before it's created when we have that fast sudden move higher. We'll probably break through that support over the weekend or the later part of Friday. What's the general trend direction of NVIDIA or NVDA from now until earnings on August 23rd? Yeah, it's a decline, but it offers opportunity to open up a long position. RIVN, general trend direction, remainder of August. Decline, we're going to revisit a support level that we met recently. That was an opportunity, but it's like an important support level on a multi-day scale. September, October would be that low, 380 around. Shouldn't we exit an SPC too? On a short-term basis, it might make sense. On a long-term basis, like I'm just buy and hold on SPC. I'm waiting for that spike. But let's take a look on a more like near-term basis and see. I don't think so. I think it gets really bullish next month. Hold on. You know, and if it's a divergence with the market, that's a clear indication of like a pretty big move. Yeah, no, so this is the bottom. This looks like a bottom for SPC for the month right here. This is a pretty strong likelihood since I was so off on the low. I mean, well, I wasn't that off. It was the lowest low thus far, and then it went lower. I read this high wrong, but this is the last indication, like real indication of a low right here. So big move at the end of the day to the upside, and then more drop, and then sideways rotation. We might revisit the low on the 18th, but then it gets bullish. This is all bullish, guys. And then into September, there's most likely going to be a gap up in September, like on a multi-day scale. Yeah, I would hold it. And if it dropped, if I'm wrong and it drops, I would buy more personally. This is a really great price range. And it does look like it kind of bottomed out. Or it's bottoming out, kind of, I should say. Maybe not quite. But in any case, I think we're really, really close to the bottom. If today isn't the bottom, really, really close to the bottom. This all looks really bullish. I would hold it. Remember, the tarot see things that we don't see coming. It determines price direction based on price direction alone, and not all the things that could impact price direction. It transcends time. It transcends cause and effect. It just tells us what will be. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, see, so there's that low at the end of the day. I'd probably hop in a short if I haven't done so anyways, and we missed this. This was the failed attempt here, so didn't go quite to where I expected. And that's very Mercury retrograde-y as well, to not meet what you expect and turn around, or to break through what you expect without a bounce. It does weird things like that. So in any case, even so, I would probably buy a short position with the intent to sell it several days down the road, like we were talking about. Probably on the 21st, maybe the 23rd, probably the 21st, and have an expiration out past the end of the month. This is most likely a lowest low based on the chart behavior. Like, this could be a serious gap down, actually. It may not be, but it looks like it could be a pretty serious gap down based on what's transpired here. And then we would have this move to the upside, like a rebound with a little mixed behavior, and then another gap down over the weekend. That's what it looks like. Yeah, Tabriz, I wish it wasn't such a tough position to hold. I was not expecting it to be this difficult, but you see moves. You don't always see for the most part. You don't see how like price level moves. You just see the moves. So, this is one I didn't anticipate that low of a position. In any case, so what we would want to do, guys, if you haven't opened up a short, probably catch it right now if you can, to protect yourself against a long position. If you don't have a long position, you might just wait till tomorrow to open up the short. But in either case, if you've got the long position, plan on holding it. Like, if you're wrong, it's fine. If we're wrong and we go up tomorrow right off the bat, like, it's fine, because overall we're going to go down. So the short position will protect against the long position in case I'm right and we do take this drop to the downside first. Right? At the open, like first thing at the open, in the midst of a decline, prior to a rally that increases with momentum, I would close a short position, open a long position, and I would close the long position for a day trade somewhere between 10 and 11:45, but probably closer to 10. It'll be before a period of volatility. And then there's an opportunity in the midst of a sharp drop here around 1:30. You could open up a long position for another day trade when we sell that day trade at a key resistance, when we create a new local high. I might not do that long position. I might not do that long position because we've got a low here. It's a little tricky. Really is a little tricky. But I would close out of a long position somewhere between 10 and 11:45. I might not even open the long position here. I would just, if I'm already in one, close it somewhere there. And then maybe at that high, open up a short position there and hold that short position until it gets really blurry, guys. I would say just what we planned on. So if you're in a long position, close the long position somewhere between 10 and 11:45. If you were able to open up a short position, hold the short position. We're looking to close the short position on the 21st, probably towards the end of the day. There's a cash out opportunity right there at the open, actually. All right, my friends. Oh, hey, AU. Do I expect Bitcoin to have a good rally tomorrow prior to a decline, or a strong decline prior to a crest? So annoying. Why does it only go to the 14th on candlesticks? It doesn't make any sense. What do you want from me? This only goes to the 16th. I don't get what's wrong with this chart. My God. Oh my God. Oh. Sorry guys, I'm like learning how to use TradingView right now. Oh, here we go. That's more like it. Okay. This one goes to the 16. Does anybody get why these charts aren't going to the day they're supposed to go? This is like ridiculous. Okay, so the question is, I can't look at a chart properly for Bitcoin for whatever reason. It's really pissing me off. Um, AU, yes, it's both. It's a decline, like a crest, and then it looks like another decline. Is it safe to long NFLX? Probably not. Hermes, what do you want, buddy? Oh my god. Freaking Mercury retrograde, my god. Hmm. I actually think it probably is, but you might want to wait until tomorrow just to be safe. Because if we open with like a big drop first and then there's a move to the upside, it would be good that you didn't get in before the drop. Because I don't know how much of a move to the upside there'll be over the weekend, but you should be able to open up, like in the morning, open up a long and then hold the long into the 21st. All right, my friends. With that said, I'm going to roll. Okay, so BTC. I was looking at maybe the wrong chart. All right, I'll check it out next time. But with that said, guys, always remember to follow that rule of karma. You do so here on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders. 5% forward, 5% backwards. Make sure to spend that money out of love. Universe will send it back